Hi guys, today we are going to learn about Surds and this is really important topic for Key Stage 3 and Key Stage 4. Let's go through the formulas and let's start the questions. Here you go. So if you see, these are the rules of the sets, yeah? So when we say root A times root B, that is root AB. So if I need to show you example like root 2 times root 3, then you can write down root 6. Similarly, if we give another example like root 5 and root 7, then you can multiply and write down root 35. This is this one rule. Next rule is root A. When you multiply root A with root A, root A with root A, it becomes A. Yeah. Why it is? I can show you. Like if you're multiplying root 4 and root 4, then as per this rule, root AB rule, you can write down root 16 and root 16 is always 4. So finally, we don't write this step. We just quickly go from here root 4, that is 4. Like if we take another example, root 5 times root 5. So you no need to write root 25. You can directly write down 5. Yeah. Now, example for this one, A root B. So let's take A is 3 and this is root B is 7. So when you multiply 3 times root 7, so you can write down 3 root 7. Between two number, if there is no sign, it means there is a multiplication sign. Yeah. Let's see this rule here. Root A root B. So suppose I have taken it is root 18 and root B is root 6. Yeah. Okay, so this we can write down combined 18 over 6. 18 divided by 6. So once you divide 18 by 6, you get 3 with square root 3. And there is 1 left, so 1 we don't write. So it is root 3 over 1, or you just say root 3. Now, rule for this one, if it is fifth root of 7, yeah, so 7 stays and this 5 returns like this 1 over 5. Yeah. Okay, one thing I need to tell you here, when you are doing a square root, like a square root of x, so it means x to the power half. Remember, if it is a cube root of x, then you can write down x to the power 1 over 3. And if it is n root of x, then you can write down x to the power 1 over n. Nice and easy. So we are going to do some more practice problems. Let's see problems here. Root 7 times root 3. So as I have explained you, please pause the video and have a go, and then we'll check the working together one by one. Welcome back if you have tried. So let's start solving root 7 root times root 3. So as per the first rule, root A and times root B, you can write down root AB. So I am writing here root 7 times 3, that is root 21. Here we can write down root 5 times root 2, that is root 10. This you can write down 3 root 2. Root 18 divided by root 2, so you can combine this, and 18 divided by 2. 18 divided by 2 is 9, and square root of 9 is, again you can simplify, it will be 3. Yeah, square root of 9 is 3. Now fifth root of 25, so 25 stays and this power comes in a fraction, that is 1 over 5. As per this rule, like if n root x, so it will be x to the power 1 over n. So here it was fifth root of 25, so 25 to the power 1 over 5 here. Nice and easy. So you can check your answers. Let's quickly go for the next type of question. Here, root 48. These questions I'm going to tell you in a very easy way. What you need to do, you know prime factor tree, right? So 48, 48 you can write down 2 times 24. 24 you can write down 2 times 12. Let's put times sign, it will look good here. 2 times 12, and 12 you can write down 2 times 6, and 6 you can write down 2 times 3. Okay, so prime factor method which we have learned in primary. So here let's start. So these are our prime numbers here. These are our prime number. So remember root 48 I am going to write. You need to pay attention here. So for this pair 2 and 2 you write down one time. Again for this pair you write down one time. So for one pair you are writing 1 2. Yeah, you no need to write two twos. This is one pair, so you write down 1 2. This is one pair, you write down 1 2. Now this 3 is unpaired, so unpaired is coming with the square root sign. Okay, so it will be 2 times 2 is 4 root 3. That's your answer. Yeah, so let's take another example, 360. Yeah, so 360, if we divide 2, then half of 360 will be 180, then half of 180 will be 90. Keep taking 2, don't take big numbers, and then half of 2 is 45. You must follow the order. First you take 2, then 3, then 4, and then 5. 45. Now 45 doesn't come in 2 timetable, so we are going for 3. So 3 times 15, that is 45, and 15 you can write down 3 times 5. Okay, so our prime numbers, these are our prime numbers. Let's highlight them. This is prime number, this is prime number. Okay, 2 2 3 3 and 5, and this is called prime factors method. Yeah, so let's take pairing. Let's do pairing, sorry. So for this pair 2 and 2 you can write down 1 2. Okay, now this 2 is unpaired because we cannot pair it with, but we can pair 3. So let's do the pairing. So it is 3. So for this pair, we can write down 3. Now 2 and 5, they are crying. Oh, they are unpaired. So I said, don't worry. So we can take 2 with a square root sign. Unpaired number you take with a square root sign. So this 2 I have written here. If you can see this 2, I have written here with the square root sign, and this 5 here, this 5 is also unpaired, so this 5 I'm going to write down with a square root sign. So root 2 times root 5. So let's write down 2 times 3 is 6. Root 2 and root 5, if you multiply, you can write down 6 root 10. Okay, now last one is left, that is 300 here. So let me rub this so that we can create some space here. Okay, so now 300. So let's do with 300. So 300, if you do, it will be 2 and 150. 150, keep taking 2, then 2 and 75. Now you cannot take 2, let's take 3. 3 and 25. Now you cannot take 3 here. Now let's take 5. 5 times 5 is 25. So our prime factors are these ones: 2, 2, 3, 5, and 5. Let's start pairing here. Let's start pairing. So for this pair, 2 and 2, you are writing one number, sorry, 2. Okay. For this pair, 5 and 5, you can write down another number, that is. Okay, and this 3 is crying, oh, there is nobody here to pair. So I said, don't worry, I'm going to take with the square root sign. So this 3 is coming here. Okay, this 3 is coming here with a square root sign, and you can multiply. 2 times 5 is 10. It is 10 root 3. Okay, so these are the questions. Let's go and see a couple of more example. Okay, so see, this is for your practice problem, and let's see how you go. You can follow the same thing. Pause the video, have a go, and we'll check the answers together. Okay, welcome back. Let's check the answers here. It is 45. If you do prime factors, 3 times 15, 3 and 5, and make sure that you are always following order. First you take 2, keep taking 2, then 3, then 4, and then 5, and so on. Yeah. So here, this 3 and 3 are in pair. So we have written 1, 3, and this 5 is unpaired. So I have written with the square root 5. So it is 3 root 5. Now root 20, this 2 and this 2 they are in pair, so I have written 2, and this 5 is unpaired, so I have written 2 root 5. For 32, this 2 and this 2 they are in pair, so I have written this 2. Now this 2 and this 2 they are in pair, so I have written 2. This is crying, it is unpaired, so I have written with the square root 2. So it is 2 times 2 is 4 root 2. Now 72, this 2 and this 2 they are in pair, so I have written this 2. Now this 3 and 3 they are in pair, so I have written this 3. Again this 2 is crying, so I have written with the square root sign. So 2 times 3 is 6, 6 root 2. Yeah. So now 128, this 2 and this 2 they are in pair, so we have written this. This 2 and this 2 is in pair, so we have written this. Now these, for this pair I have written another 2. Again this 2 is crying, so I have written with the square root sign. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, 8 times root 2, so that is 8 root 2. So these are the answers. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Please watch my second video, that is Surds part 2, more exam questions based on GCSE and Key Stage 3 and Key Stage 4. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching.